Hi, welcome to MCC Connects. I'm Mary Jo Griffin. Joining me now is Cynthia Lynch, who is the Director of Service Learning at Middlesex Community College. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you.
And it's so exciting that we are celebrating our 20th anniversary of Service Learning.
It is.
So let's start with, what is Service Learning?
Okay, well, service learning is a form of education that allows students to go directly into the community and meet identified needs in the community, work on social problems in the community, and then connect it to what they're learning in their courses, reflect on what they're learning in their courses, and develop personal skills and professional skills, and become socially engaged, socially responsible students and citizens.
Now, what is your background? How did you get involved in service learning at Middlesex?
My background's in education, and I originally taught in 4th grade, taught there for years, and included work and volunteering in the community before it was really titled service learning in my courses. And then I worked at Boston University for about 8 years in their student teaching area. So that was working directly with the community and being active in the community and being socially responsible has always been a part of who I am in my life and the values I teach my children. That when this opportunity came up to work at Middlesex and really take their service learning program to that next level, it was a perfect match.
So tell us a little bit about the different types of service learning models that you have.
Currently, we have 3 models of service learning. We have what's known as our individual model, and this is the model we began with 20 years ago. And that's where students through a course, because it's always through a course that you do service learning.
So they're getting credit.
So they're getting credit in their course for doing it. Sometimes it's instead of a paper or a midterm or a final or as extra credit, but there's always credit associated to it because it's an academic pedagogy. It's a way to learn course material. So we have individual service learning where students, as an option, or in some courses, especially in our education department, are required to go into the community. I have a huge database of sites and find a site that they could go and do 22 hours of service. And then in their course, they connect what they're seeing in the community to what they're learning in class. The other form, which has become really big in the last couple of years, is project-based service learning. That's where a whole class together, as part of the curriculum, works to solve or meet a community need. A few examples of project-based service learning is we had a dental class, and the faculty wanted to have the students learn about the structure of the mouth and the impact of oral hygiene on prenatal care and birth defects. And normally they wrote a paper on it. The course material, as the faculty said, isn't the most exciting.
Right.
However, this time what we did was they learned about Lowell Community Health Center and the people who go there. And then they put together, one of the needs that the Community Health Center has is information and education for their citizens. And they serve a huge number of people in Lowell. And so what our students did was they researched all this information and they put together brochures. And they really kept in mind the citizens.
And I know that you're nursing students, or chemistry also.
Oh, well, another great project. And this one, what's great about this one is we're now doing it for a 7th year. So it's really a solid, set, institutionalized project. We call it Chemistry for Kids. And what it is our chemistry students prepare fun chemistry projects. And by fun, gooey and interesting. And in the fall, students from Fine Arts come to the lab, and then in the spring, students from Girls Inc. Come to the chemistry lab, and the students individually work with 1 or 2 students and show them the labs, but they do it from start to finish. They have the goggles on, they talk about safety in the lab, and the unexpected learning that comes is the mentoring. All of a sudden you'll have conversations. Oh, when I was in high school, oh, definitely you want to go to college. So there's a lot of learning that we don't plan that ends up occurring.
And so what's the third type of service?
The third type of service learning is the 1-credit service learning courses. And these courses are individual courses, so you get 1 full college credit for it. And you meet 4 or 5 times during the semester, and you learn about different social issues affecting communities. And then you either do individual service learning, like we spoke about, or you do a class project. And some of the courses, like the one that went to the middle school in Lowell, had a theme. So the theme was green chemistry. So they learned, why is this currently an issue? What's going on in the country, in the world, that is making this an issue? Was it an issue 30 years ago? Will it be an issue in 30 years? And then they do a project to really solidify the learning.
Do you have an easier time with some classes than others as far as the subject matter?
I think right now the needs that I'm hearing in the community are very, in the education world, are very STEM oriented, but I'm also
In STEM, just for the
science, technology, engineering, and math. So there's a lot of needs for support in schools and in after-school programs with science and math curriculum. But there's also a big need for technology for people that, so I'm trying to work with some of our departments that students would be able to help with websites, would help with content and programming and so forth. And the other need is working with businesses and kind of getting into the area of social entrepreneurship. I mean, one of the goals, the goal of service learning is to really produce the next generation of social entrepreneurs, those people who will go out and creatively solve social problems and issues in the community. And so we're working to develop projects that will allow students to think critically, think creatively, and tackle some of those problems.
So do you have any goals for the 21st year and beyond?
One of the big goals I have in my department right now is we've really formalized this project-based service learning that's become very big and grown, is to...
By word of mouth, you're getting more and more options.
We're getting more and more options, more and more faculty engaged.
That's
is to
wonderful.
really work with the faculty, and even if it's faculty that are currently doing it, to make sure that the experience students have is enriching, that they're learning, that they're becoming socially responsible citizens, that they're feeling like this experience is helping them learn, but helping them become more, impacting their self-esteem and so forth. So that's really is looking at the role that what the students are getting out of it.
Well, Cynthia Lynch, thank you so much.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on 20 years of service learning at Middlesex Community College.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned. At Middlesex Community College, you can save a fortune on a priceless education. Call 1-800-818-3434 or online at www.middlesex.mass.edu. It's our business to help your business. The Middlesex Community College Business and Industry Programs customizes corporate education and training. Call 1-888-622-2400. Get on the fast track to your future at Middlesex Community College Weekend College. Earn a business or early childhood degree today. Call 1-800-818-3434. Did you know Middlesex Community College has a dental hygiene clinic? We offer a full range of services at greatly reduced rates. Stop by the clinic at 44 Middle Street in Lowell or call for an appointment at 978-656-3250. Get connected by following Middlesex Community College on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and stay up to date with the MCC blog. Welcome back to MCC Connects. Joining me now is Katherine DiMarca, who's an instructor of humanities at Middlesex Community College, and Mauricio Cordero, who is the director of Mill Number 5 in Lowell and a community partner with Middlesex Community College. Welcome to both of you. So let's start with, so we're talking service learning in this episode and in this segment because Middlesex Community College is celebrating its 20th anniversary of service learning. And you are a humanities instructor in English. That partnered with Mauricio. So let's start with, how did this all come about? Have you been doing service learning in your classroom for a while, and tell us how that works?
Well, the type of service learning I've done in my classroom up until this particular course was individual student-based, but for my Intro to Humanities course, I wanted to involve the whole class and make sure the whole class was involved in service learning, and so we went with the project-based model because I've seen how it can make such an impact on student learning and can also definitely impacts communities as well, the organizations that we work with.
Now, how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching at Middlesex for 2.5 years.
And was service learning something that you had done in the past? In your classroom?
With the individual projects with students. I met with Cynthia, and she told me about how it can have such a great impact on student learning. I wanted to jump on it and just definitely get my classes involved. It definitely takes a lot of planning and effort, but it's worth it. It's worth it because you can see the impact on the students and how much they enjoy it and how much it surprises them because often they don't expect to enjoy it as much as they do, and to see themselves as partners in helping a community and helping a community to thrive.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Mauricio, you have a new project in the city of Lowell, Mill Number 5. So tell us a little bit about what Mill Number 5 is, first of all.
Well, the key word there was messy. We're creating a creative space that's organic. We're responding to a community that's coming together under this umbrella. So we've got a lot of mill space, and we're filling it up with great ideas, from artist studios to startup companies to game designers, retail, cinema, black box theater, cafe, lounge.
Where is Mill Number 5?
It's down on Jackson Street.
Okay.
So it's one of the few undeveloped mills in Lowell. I think Lowell is at about 86% development of the old mills.
Wow.
And we're taking a big chunk of that and reducing that number. So right now we're talking to the community. We're trying to get great ideas, and we're really building out an organic space for an exchange of ideas.
So who found who?
There's Cynthia.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Cynthia Lynch.
Okay.
And so during the summer, I participated in a Bridging Cultures to Form a Nation Institute up in Vermont. And it's funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities, and Middlesex is in on the initiative.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so I also wanted a project for my humanities class that could work as part of that initiative. And so talking with Cynthia and going down one road seemed to lead to a dead end with a project idea, and then another project idea didn't seem to pan out.
Because your Intro to English or Intro to
Intro to
Humanities?
Humanities.
Okay.
I wanted students to see how art can make a positive impact on communities, brings communities together.
And what better place than the city of Lowell to to see how art impacts a community? Tell us, as the teacher, as the instructor, what was the service learning project then for Mill Number 5?
So students were to attend Lowell Open Studios the first weekend in October. And in teams, so in groups of 2 or 3, they would spend about 2 hours there and walk around and see what inspired them, what art really appealed to them. Choose 5 artists out of the many that they had a chance to see and encounter that day. And take notes on their work and the artist contact info. Then they would create a database, a class database, using an Excel document. So the class ended up compiling a database of 45 artists, 45 local artists, and their information.
Now, did they meet Mauricio prior to the project?
Mauricio came to class as a guest speaker with Cynthia as well.
Which is wonderful, because then they can put a face to who it is they're working for.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
What did the final project look like? I know it's here in your hand.
It
but
is.
Without opening it up.
Yes. So what students gave to Mill Number 5 to Mauricio is a database of artists, their contact information, the type of work that they do, the type of art they create, and also, so there's about 45 artists in the database, and also a profile on 11 different artists that they believe would be a great fit for mill number 5.
Which was their kind of like their personal favorites?
Yes.
Which gives you what's going on out there. What is the demographic of Greater Lowell want? So have you contacted any of the artists to come to mill number 5?
Well, there are two components that are really important for me. There's the quantitative, so who's doing what, where, what mediums, etc.
And they're not all necessarily Lowell artists, right?
No, there are artists that come in from Drake, from the surrounding communities, and they work in Lowell.
Oh, okay.
But the other component that was really important was the qualitative remarks from the students about their impressions of Lowell, their habits regarding visiting downtown Lowell, their hesitations, and how that was transformed. We're going to contact a few of the artists and just have them visit. At this point, what we do is we have conversations, and we're not trying to sell anything.
No.
We're not trying to convince people to move over into our space. We're just having conversations, collecting ideas, and some people do choose to work with us, and some it's just really creating that sense of community, because there are a lot of ways to interact with mill number 5, not just renting out a studio, but we'll have gallery space, we'll have a cinema, so there are a lot of opportunities for artists, and we just want to get the word out there that we're here, and we want to see what's happening.
This is a true working collaboration that both the student, the teacher, the institution, and the community partner get so much out of. So, Katherine, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And Mauricio, good luck with mill number 5.
Thanks, Mary
Thank you
Jo.
for joining me.
Thanks.
We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned. At Middlesex Community College, you can save a fortune on a priceless education. Call 1-800-818-3434 or online at www.middlesex.mass.edu. Host your next special event or group meeting at one of Middlesex Community College's 2 exquisite historic homes. Call 978-458-3722. Lowell Middlesex Academy Charter School is a public high school catering to students who have left school prior to graduation. Call 978-656-3165. Middlesex Institute for Lifelong Education for Seniors offers fascinating courses, intellectual stimulation, and friendship for older adults. Call 1-800-818-3434. Sully, The Words, Wit, and Wisdom of Paul Sullivan, a new hardcover book that celebrates the life of the late Paul Sullivan, an accomplished talk show host, Lowell Sun political editor and columnist, and MCC faculty member. All proceeds from the sale of the book will go to the Paul Sullivan Scholarship Fund. Pick up your copy today at your local market basket or go to www.middlesex.mass.edu/Sully. At Middlesex Community College, you can save a fortune on a priceless education. Call 1-800-818-3434 or online at www.middlesex.mass.edu. Welcome back to MCC Connects. I'm now joined by 2 students, Kristen Musto and Sam Feinberg. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
During break, you're
Yeah.
coming in. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'd like to start with tell me a little bit about yourself, how you ended up at Middlesex Community College, where you're from.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Billerica, and I went to Middlesex right out of high school, and I've been going there for the past 2.5 years. But I just recently applied for graduation, so I should be graduating this month, and then I'll be going to UMass Lowell.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you already know you're definitely going to UMass Lowell?
Well, yeah, I got accepted, so I'm going to go to like a tour on Wednesday and hopefully make my classes, because it starts in a week, so it's really
That's
getting
wonderful.
exciting. Yeah.
What are you studying?
Right now I'm a criminal justice major.
Sam, how did you end up at Middlesex? Where are you from?
I'm from Lunenburg. I graduated high school and I went to Middlesex right off the bat. I'm taking a year off, or more, like a couple months off though, because I'm going to start going to New Zealand and I'm going to do some farming there.
Oh, wow. When are you leaving for New Zealand?
February.
Really? And how did you end up going to New Zealand and farming?
Well, farming is just something I've always liked a lot. And then New Zealand's really cool because I don't have to learn a new language. and it's just really beautiful there.
Are you going to work? Or are you going to school?
I'm going to work. I'm going to a bunch of different organic farms and working there.
Two of you are here today to talk about the service learning project you did
Right.
in your Intro to Humanities class. What was it like as a student to participate in the service learning project?
It was like a really eye-opening project. You know, we got to go out in the community, learn and like experience firsthand art and just everything about it. And we didn't even know that the studios existed in all these places around Lowell. So when we got to go there, it was just a great new experience.
Had you spent much time in Lowell prior to that?
You know, just the occasional trips and stuff like that. But it just has like stereotypes and you're just unsure about it. You don't really know what it has to offer. But now you know there's so much more around and everything.
Now, had you participated in a class that had service learning in the past?
I've done some service learning, not in Middlesex, but yeah, in school I did a couple.
And how about you?
I've participated now 3 times.
Oh, was that your third time?
Yeah.
So what was the best part of the project with Mill Number 5?
I really like talking to the artists, actually. I mean, I don't consider myself someone that loves art. Now I kind of do, actually. But just hearing the different processes and all the different like thought that goes into art and how it can be interpreted in so many different ways was just like really interesting to me.
And I'm sure it expanded beyond an artist that paints a picture. What were some of the artists that
Yeah.
you encountered?
Oh, they obviously paint. They had someone making stuffed animals. They had like jewelry, scarves, photography, everything you could think of. They had a guy doing metal work and glass blowing.
Yeah.
It was really
So you both participated in the Open Studios.
Yeah. We
So
attended on a Saturday. It was
Had
like,
you ever been to Open Studios before?
no, I had no idea about it. Yeah.
So for the community, people who haven't been, explain what the Open Studios is.
Well, they're just really large mills, and they're transformed into art studios. So when you walk in, there's just art everywhere. The halls have art everywhere. The rooms are greatly decorated, and then the artists are there for you to talk to firsthand, and they'll tell you about their art and about themselves. And they're just really friendly people, and all the people are there super friendly. It's just great.
So when Mauricio came to your class to tell you what he wanted to do, did you understand that that he was looking for your perspective as a student and as a potential clientele that would come and visit this
Yeah.
Mill Number 5?
He made me really excited to attend the Mill Number 5, you know, once it was open. It seems like a really cool space to hang out, and lots of art everywhere. A lot of good people.
Okay, so then you had to go to the Open Studio day,
Right.
and then you had to interview?
cool.
Or what did you have to do
Yeah,
after that?
follow up and interview the person that we picked.
We got like the contact information for 5 artists because there's an Excel sheet that has all of them that we submitted to Mill Number 5 to Mauricio.
But you created the Excel
Right,
spreadsheet.
yeah.
Right.
we got all their
the
info.
students in the class.
And then we picked one person from that Excel sheet that we talked to previously.
So before we go any further, so you're all a class and you're told to go to the Open Studios. Did you know what you were doing when you got there? Did you have a shell or a guide as to what you were going to be doing?
Well, there's multiple studios involved in Lowell Open Studios, so we all got assigned a certain studio,
Oh,
a certain
okay.
floor,
Yeah.
and then we would look around there and find 5 artists that we were really interested in, and
And
then
you
narrow
knew-
it down to one.
And you knew you were going to get the artist name and address and
Yeah.
email and then a little summary of each artist. Is that what it was?
Yeah, we talked about it in class every day. It was good. It's exciting, you know, a lot of build up. We didn't know what to
Really was.
expect though.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
I just thought it was going to be some like museum or something boring, but when you really talk to the artist, it makes the art so much more interesting. And it just made like the sense of community a lot cooler.
So how many artists did you end up bringing to Mauricio as a class?
I think it came to about 50,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
And then on top of that, you had to do a reflection on
Yeah.
the project. Is that what it was?
Yeah, so we were to pick one artist and then interview them, and then we had to do a PowerPoint presentation to our whole class. So present what we found to our class. You know, they found it interesting, we found it interesting. Just sharing, you know, communication, really.
And we also wrote a paper on our experience that we had at the Open Studios from the perspective of us just going there, and then also from the perspective of what this does for the city of Lowell and the community.
Oh, right, and we had to do a blog about it, too. We did online blogging as a class. Each of us would write a blog, and then we had to comment on at least one other person's blog entry. And it was just good to know what they had to say, and then we learned about their experience.
Did you blog every day, or was it just one
Just
blog
one blog,
entry?
one assignment, yeah.
So that you could learn how to blog or what a
Right.
blog was all about.
Yeah.
Was the blog already created by your instructor?
Yep.
Yeah.
She set up a couple. There was various ones throughout the semester about different things.
I think that students can probably be sold on it. I think you need to encourage your instructors to participate in it and let them know how much it impacted you and how much learning you did do in the community.
They just have to watch this episode of MCC Connects.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to offer the listeners, the viewers?
Just really get engaged in the art in your community. It's everywhere, you know. We were walking here and we saw a lot of artwork, the buildings, art on the walls, and just we were talking about the trash barrel actually. It has like circles and lines, and it's just art. Someone created it, you know. Someone got inspired.
And you're a criminal justice major who didn't probably have an appreciation for it
Yeah,
before.
I had no
and what
idea
is your
about it.
major?
I don't have one.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Figure
What
it
do you
out.
well, but you like gardening
Yeah.
and farming.
Agriculture, probably something. Figure it out.
Well, that was one. Well, Kristen and Sam, thank you so much for joining me for
Thank
this
you.
episode of MCC Connects. Good luck in New Zealand.
Thanks.
Good luck at UMass Lowell.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of MCC Connects. Join me each month so that you too can be connected to Middlesex Community College.